Welcome to everyone. This video will cover the Bitcoins for the week of July 10, 2023. This video has been made on July 6, 2023. Before we start, make sure you read carefully the disclaimer. Let's start with the longer picture. The November 9, 2022 was a 4.5-year cycle low. The last 4.5-year cycle peak was on November 2021. The next 4.5-year cycle is bullish, at least for the first half. The peaks for the next 4.5-year cycle is expected mid-2025, and the low around October 2026. In the meantime, let's see what's happened since the November 2022 low and what will happen in the near future. For people who prefer trading the Bitcoins with the ETF, there is a Bitco. Here is the performance between the Bitcoin's price and the Bitco ETF. The 10-day cycle. On July 2nd, the Bitcoin crossed above the cycle line at 30,499 for a potential target at 31,397. On Thursday, July 6, the 31,500 high meets the target. The next 10-day cycle low is expected around July 8, in yellow on the chart. The rate of success for the 10-day cycle is 85.71%. The 20-day cycle. The last 20-day cycle low was on June 30. The next one is expected around July 17, in yellow on the chart. This 20-day cycle should cross below its cycle line, providing the downside target for this second 20-day cycle since the June 15 low. On May 28, the market crossed above the cycle line at 27,088 for a potential target at 28,376. Next day, the target was met with the high at 28,432. On June 4th, the Bitcoin curved back below its cycle line at 26,972 for a potential target at 25,492. The target has been met on the same day. On June 18, the market crossed back above it at 26,404 for an upside target at 28,052. This target has been met on June 20. The rate of success for the 20-day cycle is 90%. The 40-day cycle. The last 40 days low occurred on June 15 with the low at 24,797. On June 20, the Bitcoin crossed above the cycle line at 27,070 for a potential upside target at 29,384. The target has been met the next day with a high at 30,737. The market kept moving up until July 6 with a high at 31,500. The rate of success for the 40-day cycle is 66.67%. On Wednesday, July 5th, the market crossed below its 20-day uptrend line from the June 15 low, confirming the actual peak is a 40-day cycle peak. The next 40-day cycle is due between July 17 and 20 in yellow on the chart. The 80-day cycle. The last 80-day cycle low occurred on May 12. On May 8, the market crossed below its cycle line at 28,075, providing a downside target at 25,115, with the low on June 15 at 24,797, the market met its target. The next crossing above its cycle line was on June 20 at 27,162 for a potential upside target at 29,568. The target has been met on June 21st. On May 25th, the Bitcoin crossed below the 80 days cycle uptrend line, confirming the 20-week cycle peak on April 13. The rate of success for the 80-day cycle is 100%. The 20-week cycle. The market crossed its cycle line on January 2013 at 20,437 for a potential upside target at 25,395. The target has been made the week of February 13 with a high at 25,134, which is at the same time forming the 20-week peak. The second crossing happened on June 5th at 26,833 for a downside target at 22,631. The low on June 12 at 24,797 missed the target, confirming there is a lot of bullishness in this market. The third crossing occurred above the cycle line on a June 19 week at 28,007 for a potential upside target at 31,217. Thursday, July 6 high at 31,500 meets the target. The rate of success for the 20-week cycle is 66.67%, meeting its target 2 times out of 3. Since the November 22 low, the first 20-week low occurred on March 6. For the second one, we have 2 options. The first option is the 20-week low occurred on the weeks of June 12. If that is correct, the next trend will be up. In this option, the second 20 weeks wavelength is little bit shorter, but is very profitable. Since this low, the market rebounds sharply, and the next 20 weeks low is expected by the end of September, beginning of October. The second option is the 20-week cycle low is still ahead of us, and is scheduled for the 3rd weeks of July. But doesn't matter which option, the 20-week peak is still on February 13. Personally, I believe there is a high probability the 20 weeks cycle low was on June 12. Technically, at the end of the second 20-week cycle, the market should cross below its cycle line. But since there is a lot of bullishness, this will explain why the cycles are running shorter and the market stays above the cycle line. The 40-week cycle. Since the last 40-week cycle low on November 2022, the market crossed above its cycle line at 20,244 on May 16 for a potential target at 24,888. On February 13, the target has been met with the high at 25,134. The February 13 high is also the 40-week peak. For the low, it will be like the 20-week cycle analyzed, since according to the Earth principle of synchronicity, the 20 weeks and the 40-week cycle should bottom at the same time. The rate of success for the 20-week cycle is 100%. The 18-month cycle. The last 18-month cycle low was on November 2022. The market crossed above the cycle line on March 2023 at 24,150 for a potential upside target at 32,700. Technically, the peak of this first 18-month cycle is very close. This 18-month cycle low is expected around February 2024. In conclusion, there is a doubt about where to place the 20 weeks and the 40-week cycle low. If the market keeps moving up during the next 2 to 3 weeks, then the option 1 will be valid. Otherwise, if the market declines, then the option 2 have to be considered. In this case, the market should find support on its cycle line by the 3rd weeks of July. But on a trending point of view, this doesn't change anything. Up to the 20-week cycle, the 10-day, 20, 40 and 80-day cycle are still expected to occur on time. The long-term target is the 18-month cycle target at 32,700. This is the end of this week's video. Thank you for following me. Next week I will publish another market update.